Hello viewers, welcome to our lecture series on marketing management, and in this very series of our lectures on marketing management, we have been talking about retailing in detail. And in the previous lecture of mine, I told you about the kind of decisions as a retailer we have to take in this environment which is completely changed. Rather, I would say, with the emergence of technology, the marketing environment has witnessed the drastic and dramatic change. So, given this kind of environment wherein everything is changing or nothing is permanent in this ever changing environment, how to deal with the the marketing decisions, the way retailers are going to change their strategies, that is something which we have been discussing. So, continuing our discussion on the same topic, I will tell you about the next decision, that is called procurement. So, we talked about the target marketing, that how to decide or define your target market, and then we had a discussion on deciding your products assortment, how to go for defining or deciding your product assortment. Next is procurement, from where to purchase, how to source our products which we are going to offer, because whatever we are sourcing, the same we are going to offer to our customers. So, if sourcing is not done vigilantly, then of course you can't ensure the satisfaction of customers. Forget about creating delighted customers. So, after deciding on the product assortment strategy, every retailer is supposed to establish merchandise sources, policies and practices. So, in the corporate headquarters of a supermarket chain, specialist buyers, at times they are called merchandise managers, because they are the one who are going to buy, and we want them to be the best purchasers, because unless their purchase is best, they can't provide you the best of the offerings. So, in a retail store, imagine, which are being the retailers who are actually known for selling the products, imagine that we are expecting them to be a best purchaser first. So, unless you emerge to be a best purchaser, you can't cater to the requirement of the customers. So, these specialist buyers, or so called best purchasers, they are called as merchandise managers, and they are responsible for developing brand assortments and listening to presentations from their supplier salespeople. So, they are actually talking to the salespeople who are coming from the suppliers, and they listen to their presentations. They had many questions in their mind. So, all those queries or all those discussions, they take place beforehand, when they are going to finalize their purchase, or they are going to finalize their procurement. So, retailers are rapidly improving their skills in demand forecasting, merchandise selection, stock control, and of course, the space allocation and display. So, gone are the days when we used to ignore the visual merchandising. The marketers earlier, they used to store the products as per their own convenience, and they were providing the products to the customers on demand. So, they were the one who could search and find and provide the products to the customers. But now the role of display, that is called visual merchandising, has taken a big leap, because in Indian scenario, if I give an example of that, we say that jo dikhta hai wo bikta hai. So, whatever is being exhibited is bound to be sold out. So, jo dikhta hai wo hi bikta hai, this is what people say. So, these marketers or retailers, they are using sophisticated software to track inventory, compute economic order quantities, and for anything or everything what they are calculating, they have to order the goods, they have to analyze money spent on vendors and products. So, everything they are doing with the help of the technology. So, if we have to decide economic order quantity, it is not done in a traditional way. If you take example of supermarket chains, they are using scanner data to manage their merchandise mix on a store by store basis. So, from stores to store, they are actually using scanner data to manage their merchandise, and they are actually doing it, tracking it on real time basis. Some stores, they are actually using RFID technique, that is called radio frequency identification device or radio frequency identification system, which is made up of smart tags, and these smart tags are actually microchips which are attached to a tiny radio antennas and electronic readers to facilitate inventory control and product replenishment. So, by simply scanning those tags, you can understand that these many units of this particular product is being left in the store, and rest all are sold out. So by the time the billing is done, the suppliers are aware of the quantities available in the store. So this is called tracking on real time basis, and the smart tags can be embedded on products or stuck on labels. There are paper tags also nowadays, and when the tag is near a reader, it transmits a unique identifying number to its computer database, and there are a number of companies which are using that. If I take example of Gillette or Coca-Cola, they are actually using this RFID system to monitor inventory, and they are tracking goods in real time, as they move from factories to supermarkets and then to shopping baskets. That is called billing counter. So at every level they have a complete database, they have a complete they keep a complete track of the product starting from the factory to supermarket and then to the customers. There is a very popular term nowadays which is being used called DPP, that is called direct product profitability. This is a very significant term nowadays being increasingly used in the retailing scenario. So stores are using direct product profitability to measure a product's handling cost, that in order to handle a product, how much cost we are going to incur. So when I say handling cost, it involves many activities starting from receiving the product, moving to storage, paperwork, whatever we are doing to record that data, selecting, checking, loading and space cost. So everything when we combine together, that is called as products handling cost. And from the time it reaches the warehouse until a customer buys in the retail store, from that perspective, they are actually calculating the DPP, that is called direct product profitability. So DPP is there to measure a product's handling cost, and they are learning to their surprise that the gross margin on a product often bears little relation to the direct product profit. Some high volume products may have such high handling cost that they are less profitable, and in turn what we do once we are aware of this information, that this is the product which is called as high volume product, and it may have very high handling cost. So since they are not very profitable, and that is why they deserve less shelf space than low volume products. So no matter whether it is a high volume product or it is very much in demand, but since its handling cost is very high, so we should not mind reducing its shelf space or providing it to the low volume products which is more profitable, because their handling cost is lesser as compared to the previous one. So this is the way, my dear learners, we have to go for deciding the procurement strategy. We have to define, decide and implement the procurement strategy in a proper manner. The next strategy in line relates to the pricing, and once it is done, it is talked about in in the retailing sector, it gains paramount importance. It becomes of immense significance, because prices are a key positioning factor and they must be set in relationship to the target market, the product and service assortment mix and competition. So pricing cannot be done in isolation. They have to be set in relation to the target market, their product and service assortment mix, and of course the competition. You can't charge more than what your competitor is charging. So all retailers would like actually high turns into into earns, that is called high volume and high gross margins. They want both to be there, that not only the turnover, not only the turnover should be on the higher side, but also the gross margin should be on the higher side. But normally what happens, the two don't usually go together. At times you are finding a product which has greatest turnover, but the margin is very less, or vice versa. The turnover is very less, but the margin is very high. So we have to make a trade off between the two. So most retailers, they fall into the high markup lower volume group, that is called the fine specialty store, or you would find them to be be placed in a segment of low markup higher volume group, that is called mass merchandisers and discount stores. So within each of these groups there are further gradations. So within the classification we have another sub classification. So there we are actually talking about using pricing strategy as a traffic builder, how to bring customers to the store. That should be the strategy of a retailer. because unless they visit a store, how would they buy? So most retailers, they are nowadays, they are putting low prices on some items to serve as a traffic builder, because they know that these are the items which customers are frequently buying. So they are actually using they are putting their prices on a lower side deliberately in order to bring traffic to the store, that is called as traffic builders or loss leaders we call them, or to signal their pricing policies. So they are signaling their pricing policies that they are genuinely pricing their product and customers must come, pay a visit and buy the product from there. So they will then store wide sales. So they are actually running store wide sales, and they will plan markdown or slower moving on slower moving merchandise. There can be a markdown on slower moving merchandise, because of course it is taking the shelf place, and it is occupying a place, and there is a handling cost involved into that. If I take example of shoe retailers, any shoe retailer you take in question, so they are basically expecting to sell 50% of their shoes at the normal markup. So whatever is their product assortment, out of that 50% of their shoes, they can be sold out at normal prices. Remaining 25% at a 40% markup you can sell, and the remaining or the leftover 25% is always sold out at cost, to which we call as the discounts and offers being offered by them. So a store's average price level, if we calculate, if we club all three together and try to calculate the average price of a store at a level of store, that what is the average price level and discounting policies, it will affect its price image with consumers. But non-price related factors, for instance store atmosphere and levels of service, they also matter a lot. So there is a strategy called EDLP. It is also being used, increasingly used as a unique marketing strategy, that is everyday low pricing. Why to confine your sale to a specific week, month or year, that in this festive season we are offering discounts, or in this at this juncture we are offering you discounts and offers. So some retailers nowadays, they are actually increasingly favoring the everyday low pricing, that is called EDLP, and the name of Walmart is at the top. So Walmart have abandoned sale pricing in favor of EDLP, that is called everyday low pricing. So they can lead to lower advertising cost, greater pricing stability, and of course a stronger image of fairness and reliability, and eventually it results into the higher retail profits as well. So this can also be a strategy, that why don't you make every day a low pricing day, that you are offering all the benefits to the customer. So no need to position us, no need to plan for a specific advertisement for the days when you are providing the products on some offers, discounts or freebies. So it can also be a strategy of positioning yourself. Supermarket chains practicing everyday low pricing can be more profitable than those practicing high low sale pricing, but only in certain circumstances. And when the market is characterized by many large basket shoppers who tend to buy many items on any one trip. So that can be a strategy. Now what is happening, the margins are improving. So all the retailers are seeking to cut cost to improve their margin. So thanks to the cost cutting strategies with the help of technology, that retailers are able to even improvise their margins, because they can't increase the selling price. So some of them, they are doing so in an environmentally eco-friendly way, what you call as environmentally friendly way or eco-friendly way. So Walmart, if I take example of this retailer, it has cut energy use by more than 50% and maintenance cost by more than 30%. And for that, what they had done, they had painted their store roofs in white color to reflect sunlight and reduce the use of air conditioning. They are actually working on the toilets and other uses that do not require drinking quality water. So they are capturing rain water in storage tanks for flushing toilets, and also they are using it for other uses where they don't require drinking quality water, or what you call as potable water. And they had also installed LED lights in parking lots. So these are the ways they can reduce their cost. Next in line is the strategy related to services, that you have to make a decision with regard to services also. So services are actually emerging as another differentiator in unerringly reliable customer service, whether face to face or across phone lines or via online chat. You have to provide the best of services. So retailers must decide on the services mix to offer their customers. The first one is the pre-purchase, second one is post-purchase. So let me talk about the pre-purchase services first. So it includes accepting telephone and mail orders, advertising, window and interior display, fitting rooms, shopping hours, fashion shows and trade-ins. So whatever is being done in terms of pre-purchase services, whatever information you wish to convey to the customers, that is categorized in the segment of pre-purchase services. Next is post purchase services. As the name itself indicates, as the service segment itself indicates, that this is done, these services are offered after the purchase is done. It means the customer had purchased the product from your store. So it includes shipping and delivery, gift wrapping, adjustments and returns, alterations and tailoring, installations, and also some of the marketers, they are providing engraving services, the customization services also. Third one is ancillary services, which includes general information, parking, restaurant, repairs, interior decoration, restrooms, and baby attendant services. So these are ancillary services apart from pre and post purchase services. Now, what we are finding in the market is that we have to deal with smarter customers. So due to consumer complaints, many retailers, they have loosened up their returns policies in recent years. There is a problem of wardrobing going on. I'll tell you about that. Once we'll talk about dealing with smarter customers. So to reduce any possible impediment to sales and in order to improve the image of a retailer in the eyes of the customers, the firms are also eliminating restocking fees and extending return periods. So they are actually offering the extended period for returning the products. So the return policy have been made very flexible nowadays, because with the emergence of online shopping, the major concern of most of the customers or shoppers was the stringent or very rigid kind of return policies. So most of the retailers nowadays, they had actually loosened their return policy. But yes, there is also a negative side of that, because the customers, some policies, they have necessarily stayed in place, though to combat frauds by the customers. For instance, wardrobing. Now what is wardrobing? It is the practice of wearing and then returning clothing items. Some of the customers, they buy a product online, they place an order for a specific event, they wear those clothes and then they try to return. So this is called wardrobing. That should not happen. But yes, of course, once you are having an extended period of return policy or a flexible return policies, smart customers may try to take some benefit out of that. So this is another challenge for marketers with which they are trying to. But yes, of course, there is a cost involved into that, and in order to ensure that, marketers, they are also trying to find out or devise the different strategies to combat this wardrobing as well. The next in line is store atmosphere, the environment in which customer is going to buy the product. So every store has a look, we all understand, that is called as, it's aesthetically it should be good, it should be designed in a planned manner. Or at times you find a store in a very differently designed. You think that it is not in a planned manner, but it is actually systematically unsystematic. So for certain products we need that. So every store has a look and physical layout that makes it hard or easy to move around. When marketers want you to move around with some difficulty, they plan their store atmosphere according to that. If we take example of Kohl's floor plan is modeled after a racetrack loop. So it is modeled after a racetrack loop, and it is designed in such a way to convey the customer smoothly past all the merchandise in the stores. They want you to have a look, at least have a look of all the products which is available in that particular store, and that is why they had modeled their store after a racetrack loop. That is why I told you about systematically unsystematic. So they are you find the store designing or atmosphere to be very unsystematic, but they had actually paid lot of attention to make it unsystematic. They want it to be unsystematic or non-systematic. So it includes a middle aisle that hurried shoppers can use. They had some customers who are in a hurry and they want to buy one particular item or one particular product. So for them there is a middle aisle that hurried shoppers can use as a shortcut, and it yields higher spending levels than many competitors. So my dear learners, you have to understand now, once you visit the Kohl's store, you would find by paying a little attention that why they had planned it in like this, cause they had modeled it after a racetrack loop, and racetrack loop we all understand. At times in temples also, in order to stop the crowd, or in order to reduce the movement of crowd in the temples, they have that kind of loop design, so that they should take sufficient time or lot of time to reach to that particular place where they had to go for darshan and puja. So it is the way we have to design into the store atmosphere, and it includes aromatology as well. Nowadays retailers, they are considering all the senses in shaping the customers experiences, because they talk about experiential marketing. They say that feeling is believing is the new mantra of success in the market. So varying the tempo of music, it also affects average time and money which customer is going to spend in the supermarket. So imagine the music which is there in the background, its tempo actually affects the time and money which you are going to spend in the supermarket, and studies have proven that slow music can lead to a higher sales. When the music is very slow, customers are finding the place to be of very relaxed, and while doing their shopping they find themselves to be very relaxed. And once you are spending more time, of course you will have a look at more number of items, and that may result into the conversion from visitor to the customers. There is an example, very popular example here from Bloomingdale's. Bloomingdale's is using different essences or perfumes, that is called scents, in different departments. If we talk about Bloomingdale's strategy, in the baby store they are using baby powder and suntan lotion in the bathing suit area if you visit, and or you can say lilacs in lingeries, and cinnamon and pine scent in the holiday season. So this is what they are using. So using cinnamon and pine perfume during the holiday season is strategically being done by Bloomingdale's. So other retailers, for instance, if I take name of Victoria's Secret and Juicy Cotter, they are using their own distinctive branded perfumes which they are selling also. So they are using their in-house developed or their own particular branded perfume which they are selling or offering to the customers, and the same is being used in the store just to exercise the aromatology, or providing the touch of aroma to the customers who are actually there to buy the products. The next in line is store activities and experiences. So the growth of e-commerce, it has actually forced, I would say, traditional brick and mortar retailers to respond. So it is forcing them to respond in addition to their natural advantages. For instance, the products that shoppers can actually see, touch and test. The real life customer service and no delivery lag time for most of the purchases is actually the reality of the day. Stores are also providing a shopping experience as a strong differentiator, that this is the service quality which is matchless, which nobody else can provide to you. So the store atmosphere should actually match the shopper's basic motivation. It cannot be planned in any way or every way you feel like. It should actually match the shopper's basic motivations. If your customer is likely to be in a task oriented and functional mindset, then a simpler, more restrained in-store environment may be a better choice. But if your if your customer is not likely to be a task oriented or of functional mindset, then this strategy cannot help. On the contrary, on the other hand, some retailers of experiential products, they are creating in-store entertainment to attract customers who actually want some kind of fun and excitement. So for them, they are having those segments, those areas. and of course they had to communicate. So retailers are using a wide range of communication tools to generate traffic and purchases. They are placing ads, they are running special sales, issuing money saving coupons, they are sending email promotions, running frequent shopper reward programs, in store food sampling and coupons on shelves or at checkout points. They are actually doing all this just to communicate that yes, we are there. So they are working with manufacturers to design point of sale materials which reflect both their images and they time the arrival of their emails and design them with attention grabbing subject lines, so that everybody is going to open that and read what is there inside that. And animation and personalized messages, they are also there to their rescue, they are also helping them. So my dear learners, these are some of the decisions which marketers or which retailers have to take in the changing environment in which we are interacting or selling nowadays. So I try to provide you the details about all these decisions and the way it has changed with the help of several examples of leading retailers in Indian as well as global scenario. I hope you must have enjoyed this very session of mine. Thank you so much.